Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, the Lou D-O double G.
And me, Real Slim Katie 25.
And you're listening to Geek Gourmet. Today's episode of Geek Gourmet, this is obviously a different format than usual, because we're talking about one thing and one thing only, and that's Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh my god, Louie.
How many times have you seen it? It's now Tuesday.
Once
after
so
the
far,
Thursday's drop.
but I do want to see it again this weekend.
I've seen it twice now.
Oh my god.
What
theater?
I went to Alamo Drafthouse first, and then I went to Regal the second time.
Which one?
But not because I wanted to go to Regal.
Oh my god.
Metropolitan.
You can't say that. Regal, Regal, if you're hearing this, I want you to be my sponsor so bad.
Yeah, I think Regal's great. I love the ices and stuff. I just liked Alamo because it has the pizza. And
I like the pre-shows at Alamo. Anyways,
so maybe
let's not get too distracted here.
Yeah. No,
let's
you're right. You're
let's
so right.
reel it in, okay?
We are reeling
normally
it in.
When we've done these reviews, we've talked about like three main things that we each took away from the movie, good versus bad. Louis, first, real quick, what's your first impression of this?
Like
right when you got out of theater.
Well, right when I got out of the theater, I thought it was very funny. I felt like there were jokes specifically catered to me, and the person who is like me and the people who are like me that live in the comic book world and are just always constantly like, who's the next villain? Keeping up with all the movies that do and don't get made and all those sorts of things. So I was really appreciative of that. I'm gonna say flat out, I don't think it's better than the first or second movie. Especially not better than the first, but that's how I feel. And that's not to say that it's not a great movie. I think it is a fantastic movie. I think that it is above average, one of the better comic book movies for sure. However, the weakest of the three. That's my snapshot.
I have a lot of recency bias on this one. A lot of recency bias. I feel like I'm not able to adequately speak to this. I just rewatched the first Deadpool. I have not rewatched the second one recently.
I also just rewatched the first Deadpool as well.
Yeah, I mean the first one is really nostalgic for me. So I always love that one. This is so fun though. And I think what I was craving in this movie and why I enjoyed it so much is because it's exactly what I wanted. I want something fun, fast-paced, something that just made me smile and laugh, and this movie delivered 100%. Which is the first thing I kind of want to talk about. I think the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in this movie was just perfect. I think they had such a fun, exciting dynamic where they played back and forth the entire time. And I just wanted to be in the room with them, chatting and hanging out. And I think it did so much good for this movie. What about you?
I agree, yeah, and this is the bromance category, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Their bromance. I think as you would imagine, the opposite ends of the spectrum here of like angry, brooding guy and happy, like stupid guy, right? And how they interact with each other, not only like in the banter, but in their fighting styles as well. You can see that one of them's a lot more structured, and the other's like just flailing about, doing some dumb shit.
You're so Wolverine, and I'm so Deadpool.
I guess so. I guess like, in this scenario, yes.
In this scenario, yeah.
But I will say, neither one of us is like that end on the spectrum. Like,
no, we're like.
But absolutely.
Yeah.
What
about you, Louis? What was your like part of this movie? What brought you joy?
The music choices, the music supervisor. Those choices were amazing. So there's a little bit of backstory here and why the music is my favorite part of it, and more specifically the song choices that were made. Said this a million times before. I am a sound designer. Half of my job as a sound designer.
Wait, are you?
In theater, right, is choosing songs that work for scene transitions, moments, and things like that. And that is my favorite part of the job. And I will say, a lot goes into that, right? You don't just listen to one or two and say that's the song. Sometimes you get lucky and you do. However, more often than not, you're listening to 100 songs of one genre to find something for one moment, right?
Right.
And all of the songs they used for each and every moment and each and every joke, for the most part, all hit like beautifully. And so there's one song in particular that really fucking tickled my fucking peach. And
I hope
it is Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. I want everybody to know that before this movie, like take this movie out of the equation, I fucking love this song. A, because it's a banger, and B, because it's the biggest fucking meme ever. Like, I don't think I've ever like laughed harder at the meme where it's Batman crying in the shower after Catwoman leaves in The Batman with Robert Pattinson,
Mm-hmm.
and that song Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls is playing in the background of the meme, and that shit just fucking kills me.
It's so
I
funny.
fucking love it. It is so fucking funny.
It's so
and
funny.
So the scene
Me at
where
9 years old
obviously
being like,
and obviously like spoilers here, but when he's in the TVA, when he first gets in there and he's like falling towards the like the TVA
the
guy,
agent who had like such
agent,
a hard on for him.
Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
falling, his butt was like going to him. All of a sudden, Iris by the Goo Goo Doll starts playing, dude. Fucking great. Amazing.
So funny.
I love
Well, you know what
the
I
choir
saw?
singing. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, there's this interview I was listening to with Sean Levy, and he was talking about how him and Ryan Reynolds, while they were writing this, had this like 12-hour playlist called Logan Pool. And like literally every song that they put in was just good vibes, and there was no like other like solid explanation, but it just felt right for the playlist. And everything that they used in the movie came from there.
That's awesome. And as a matter of fact, I just love the rearranging, the recomposition. I don't know what you even call it, but the choir singing Madonna, right?
Oh my god, I know.
It
the arrangement.
The arrangement, yeah. The most amazing part about that to me is that you took a very poppy song and made it heroic with the choir singing it instead. Like that became a heroic song in so many ways, and it's just brilliant. Like it perfectly encompasses what Deadpool is, right? Funny, goofy guy, but at the end of the day, he is an anti-hero, right? He is a hero. So he's going to be a hero, he's going to do dumb shit, but he's going to do it in a funny way. And it's going to be funny, and it's really funny to use that song, but then the added choir, dude?
I know.
Chef's
it was all so fun. That's what it is. Like the soundtrack, the vibes were just fun and silly, and that's what this whole movie was to me. I saw this a bunch of reviews, actually, people being like, the humor in this movie is dog shit. It's so unfunny. It's trying so hard. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like tonally it's the exact same as the last two movies. Like pretty much exactly. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. The only thing that I feel like was enhanced or changed with this movie is there's just a lot of fan service in regards to jokes, and a lot of jokes that aren't just like general pop culture references, which we see a lot of in Deadpool already, but a lot of stuff you have to have context for, right? You have to have context that Blake Lively is Ryan Reynolds' wife. You have to have context about the Fox Disney drama. You have to like that. They touch on a lot. So that's the only thing that I feel like was a huge gripe that I've seen about this movie online. That and people getting really upset about Deadpool being called Marvel Jesus. But like his whole thing is everything he does is kind of like sacrilegious and like vigilante type shit. That's his whole thing. So I don't know. I don't get that. Not that I don't respect people's takes, but it feels very on brand for everything in his character.
Yeah, and as a gripe, I do think it doesn't really stand as a standalone movie too much. Like you do have to have all that context, and that is absolutely one of my gripes. My other gripe, and it's not the biggest gripe in the world, but I feel like for me it does take off a point because it's just super fast. Like the jokes are here, boom, 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 boom. Like there's not a beat, right? And I feel like there are moments where I'm like, there should have been a beat here, but I don't feel that. But that's also me being so analytical about things always in media. Oh, I just hit my mic. In media that like I'm thinking that way. For a lot of people that might not be a problem. But for me, that makes a difference between it being like an 8 or a 9, right? Or like a 7 or an 8, right?
I don't know. Personally, I didn't mind it because I felt like the jokes were so fast, right? It's like this classic like stand-up type setup of like there's a joke every like 6 to 15 seconds. So like if anything about the people like missing jokes or jokes going over people's heads, like, oh well, you missed that one, you're gonna catch them on the next one in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I will say that does add a lot of like rewatchability, right? Where people are invited to come see it again because like I might have missed that or whatever. I'm not saying that it was the biggest problem for me personally, just because I I understood like 95% of the jokes immediately, but as thinking about it like logically and just objectively, like that was a slight problem for me.
Right.
For
My
sure.
biggest gripe with this movie would be that I feel like the like why of the movie was kind of weak. Like they're having
Sure.
this great like
Yeah.
road trip. They're trying to save their timeline and everything, right? But the why of it is because
Yeah.
Paradox just wanted to like speed up the process. Like I wish there was a stronger need from his end,
A
right?
stronger villain, and even Cassandra Nova, I was like,
Right.
the actress was great. I don't think she did a bad job at all.
Like what's your
But
problem though?
it was
You just
yeah,
want
yeah.
power,
It's like, so you're just mad because your brother didn't love you, but also your brother didn't know you existed, my friend.
yeah,
So
also
like,
she didn't have a problem. She didn't know they were even there until the day they were there. Like there was no history there. And like I don't know, Paradox just being like, yeah, I just want to speed up the process. Like I wish there was some kind of reason for why he was doing this to make him a better villain.
and
Otherwise,
that's another one for me too.
yeah, I mean, otherwise, I love the fight choreo. I feel like there's so many iconic moments. Him single handedly reloading the guns. I mean, the entire Honda Odyssey fight scene was just perfect.
Yeah.
Every single shot was brilliant to watch. Yeah.
Kind of going back to the trailer a little bit. I felt like when the trailer first came out, it gave away a lot of the key moments I wish wasn't in the trailer. And there's just a lot of like, everybody has different opinions about it, right? In my opinion, I'm of the mind of like, trailer crafting in itself is such
It's an
art form,
right?
and I feel like in this movie in particular, it felt like there wasn't enough for them not to put key things in the trailer, like the gun reloading thing
was epic.
I feel like it was really cool, and I would have much rather have seen it in theaters, right?
Right, I agree with that. However,
And that's just one of my gripes there.
I haven't gone back and rewatched the trailer since watching the movie. What I will say is it did set up, like we talked about in our segment a couple weeks ago, of like, I think tonally I knew exactly what to expect with this movie. That's why I was so confused by all these reviews of people being like, what is this? I'm like, it's pretty much shot for shot as advertised. Like pretty much exactly what you're thinking you're getting there. Anyways, honestly, for me, it was a love. I think it's probably the best movie since Endgame. I love Guardians 3. So I really understand why people wouldn't put it up there. But for me, this is just I had so much fun watching this in theaters, and that's just exactly what I wanted out of a Marvel movie right now. I don't think it always needs to take itself so seriously, and that's why it really worked for me. What about you?
Yeah, it's definitely, I've seen a lot of reviews are talking about other places reviewing it as well, and if I had to give it like a numbered review thing, it would probably be like a 7.5 out of 10. The villain thing, all of Deadpool's villains generally, are not very good, right? Because the focal point of what Deadpool is not his villains, but more so what he does to defeat the villains, because he's just so like wacky, right? However, I wish that the villain had more substance. Just kind of jumping off what Katie was saying. In addition to, I kind of wish that the pacing was a bit slower. It was super quick.
Yeah,
I wish that I would have preferred there to be an extra 15 minutes versus there being what the runtime was, and it be super like but the good things are like the jokes really worked for me. The music was amazing. The fight combat was really good. I liked their styles were very, very different, and that really worked for me, obviously. So yeah,
P.S. that post-credit scene really hit hard. I think so much pressure is put on post-credit scenes to like reveal like the new biggest thing or whatever. I was totally waiting for them to say Deadpool and Wolverine will return, whatever. It's certainly implied. I mean, they talk about it in the movie of like they're going to keep doing these movies, and we know that they're going to be folded in. Obviously, there's been big talk about how are they going to move Deadpool, a rated R character, into the next Avengers movie. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. I just thought the post-credit scene was awesome. It was fun. And I thought it was a great end cap to the movie. And waiting for that payoff at the end, chef's kiss.
It was really good. Well, I think that's the review. That's what we think.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you like this, go ahead, leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. What were your gripes? Did you enjoy it? please hit us up with your comments. And if you like this content, make sure to drop us a follow, drop us a like, and come hang out with us more often. Yeehaw.
Where can people find you on the social medias, though?
Real Slim Katie 25 on Letterboxd, TikTok, and Instagram. What about you, Louie?
I'm at the LouDOG 956 on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Also on my anime list.
Sheesh.
And that's
mostly,
all, folks.
You can find us here. See you guys later.
On the YouTube. Bye-bye.